Hello. Well, it's fall and it's beautiful outside, and I wanted to show you a fun way to make a fall arrangement, and that is to fill up a basket. So I love, reusing baskets like these for arrangements, and you're probably wondering, how am I going to put the flowers in? Well, I have a plastic container here that once was some spinach, and I just cut the top off and made a tape grid with my floral tape. And then I'm just going to tuck it right down into the basket. And this way I can put flowers in there. And if you don't have a plastic container like this, you could obviously use a low, shallow vase, in place of this. Just anything that's going to hold the water and still allow you to use this beautiful basket. So speaking of water, I'm going to fill it up now. And I always use room temperature water. The flowers like that. I'll get it in there and add a little dash of my Flower Power, my homemade flower food, that helps the flowers last a little bit longer. There we go. Okay. And the water really weighted down that plastic container in here too, so now it's nice and heavy and ready for me to put my flowers and greens in. So I love going outside in the fall and sort of hunting around. And one thing that I spied in my friend's garden was sassafras. Now, this is a beautiful type of greenery that you can tell what it is because the little leaves look like mittens. So we've got one here and then the other one. They're super cute and I love the fall color on them. So I'm going to use this greenery along with a little bit of seeded eucalyptus, which has a beautiful scent and great berries to just sort of trail over the edge of my basket. So I've got those here, and then one other type of greenery, which is coleus. So this came out of my front yard. I love coleus for these great colors that are, growing in it, and it's going to pick up one of our flower colors that you'll see. So the first thing I'm going to do is just trim up my greens and stick them in. So with the sassafras, I just go right over here and break it down so that I can get 2 for 1. So now I've got a piece here, and I'm just going to pull off this little one, cut it off actually, and save that because I may be making a mini arrangement later with my leftovers. And then now it's ready to just go right into my plastic container here, and the tape grid holds everything in place, which is great because it really stays put. So I'm going to put in a little bit more of the sassafras and then get ready to add my seeded eucalyptus. So I've got one big piece of this here, and I wanted to show you how I also break that down. There are about 4 lateral pieces here, and I'm just going to trim them up, taking each one individually, if I can wrangle it here, pulling off the bottom leaves, and then tucking it in. And these guys can, again, sort of trail over that side of my basket for a bit of a romantic look, and it smells so great when you go to prep this eucalyptus. All right, get these ones in the edge, and then I have some more sort of bushier pieces right here that I had trimmed up before I started. I've got those ready to go. And now I think it's time for my coleus. So I only had one piece of this beautiful color with the sort of raspberry hint in the center. And I'm just going to break it into 2 pieces right there. 1, 2. And tuck one in here and then pull off, again, a few of these bottom leaves. Save this for my mini arrangement and tuck the other one in. And now I've got my base of greenery ready to go, so then I can just plop my flowers right in. So I'm going to move the flowers over. Now, what I did for all of them, I'm just using 3 here, is to pull off any of the greens that would be below the water line so that I have some clean stems. So you just saw me do that there with this Alstroemeria. And the greens at top are fine to leave unless any of them are sort of bruised, and then I'll just take them off because I have such a nice assortment here. I don't really, need it on there. Then I'm going to trim these down, maybe one more cut, And just in the same way that I put the greens in, I'm going to tuck them right into the vase. So I have some other Astros cleaned here. And can't even see my plastic base down here. It's all covered up by the greens and now the flowers, and they're all getting water, which is down in there. Oh, here's that raspberry color that I was talking about. Celosia, which is almost over and is just a beautiful flower that's been in season for a while now. But I love the color here, and I just pulled off the leaves and trim it in. And you'll see what I mean about the coleus, that's why I grabbed that. And it was worth hunting it from my front yard. You know, the more you trim and just make space for some more little guys to pop up, it lets the light into the rest of the plant. Okay, trimming this here. And now it's time for my big focal flower. I have gorgeous Latina roses in this bright lemony yellow color. Just give them a trim. Any little greens that come off, take them down. Stick them right into the vase. All right, it's getting full in here, but looking nice. That stem just went flying, which happens sometimes when you're arranging. All right, getting these roses in, filling it up. Now, I don't do, sort of perfectly symmetrical arrangements usually. I just put them in where I like and see what happens. But you absolutely can make a pattern at the beginning and go, follow it. Totally up to you. I'm gonna do two at once. Watch this. This right in here, if it will stay. One here. And now they're flopping around. It's just because they need a bit more greens in between. Get some of my uke right in, starting to take shape. One more piece of Astro right in the center. And I have a little surprise here for the end. Because this is sort of fall harvest time, I thought it would be fun to use these little mini graffiti eggplants that I picked up at the farmer's market. So I'm just going to spear them with my floral picks like this and tuck them down into my arrangement for a little splash of purple and just sort of a bit of whimsy to my arrangement. And you can use, apples and pears, persimmons. There's so many fun things that you can add to your arrangements. And really, you can eat them later. I always say arrange now, cook later, but I'm the first one to come, looking for them after a few days and decide I'm going to, toss them into my stir fry in the case of the eggplants, or, just munch on the apple if that's what I put in there. So it's a fun way to sort of enjoy your produce looking beautiful for a while and then eat it later. All right, I'm getting these little eggplants in, and I think this big basket arrangement is pretty much finished. And then I wanted to show you that I have a teeny little basket with a small Tupperware, which I'm going to tuck right in and fill up with my extras, and you'll get to see that in the picture. But all the little bits that didn't make it in here can go into my mini basket. So I hope you enjoy making a fall arrangement, and thanks so much for watching.